Welcome to this deep dive. There's often that quiet hum beneath the surface of our days, maybe a gentle questioning. Are we really on the right path?
That feeling.
Exactly. So today we're kind of exploring that. We're looking at what might be some subtle signs that you are, in fact, moving in harmony with your life's deeper rhythm. And we're drawing some insights from Buddhist philosophy.
It really is about noticing the whispers, isn't it? Not looking for loud announcements, but just becoming aware of those gentle currents. They suggest we're flowing with the stream of existence, not, fighting against it. We'll touch on 5 key ways these inclinations might show up in your own experience. Think of them less as strict rules, more like soft glows, kind of illuminating your journey.
Yeah, soft close. I like that. Forget a rigid checklist, definitely. Think of this more as a quiet inward look, reflecting on what's maybe already happening within you and around you.
Right.
We're tuning into those personal moments of recognition, not just dissecting abstract ideas. So, where should we begin? Maybe with the first of these glows. Inner peace.
Inner peace, yes. It sounds so simple, almost basic, but it holds such profound significance, doesn't it?
It really does.
In the Buddhist view, this peace isn't just, the absence of noise or conflict outside. It's a really deep-seated equilibrium, a still point that can actually exist even when the world around is turbulent. Maybe think about your own experience. Have you ever found that sense of inner calm, even when things outside felt, chaotic?
That image of a river you mentioned earlier really sticks with me. How it doesn't battle the rocks or resist the bends in its course. It just adapts.
It flows.
It flows, exactly. So it's about finding that same kind of fluidity within ourselves, aligning with, what some might call the universal flow or the natural order. What helps cultivate that, do you think, that adaptability?
Well, think of the stillness Siddhartha Gautama found, under the Bodhi tree. His path to enlightenment wasn't through fighting his inner turmoil, but through observing it, quietly, with a still mind. And that inner stillness, that quiet observation, allowed wisdom to actually blossom. Maybe consider what parts of your own inner world could benefit from that kind of gentle looking without judging.
And it's not some far-off, unattainable thing, is it?
I was struck by that story about Maya, the artist, how she felt this strong pull towards art, but went for a conventional career first. And it wasn't until she really embraced her painting that she found this deep serenity, even with all the everyday stuff going on. That inner peace, it sort of became her compass.
It's her personal compass, yes.
Yeah.
That resonates. Authenticity, acting in line with who we really are, it breeds such a profound sense of peace.
Yeah.
When our actions match our inner landscape, that internal friction just eases. Cultivating this. Well, it's not about reaching some constant state of bliss. That's not realistic.
Right. It's more about consistently doing practices that nurture that inner balance. What small things could someone explore, maybe daily, to gently bring in more inner peace?
Well, practices like mindfulness,
Yeah.
right? Just observing your thoughts and feelings as they come and go without getting totally swept away. Sounds simple, but it can be so grounding.
Indeed. It creates a little space, doesn't it, between you and your thoughts so you can see them more clearly, like passing clouds, instead of identifying with every single mental storm.
Passing clouds.
That gentle detachment is really key for inner peace.
And then there's reflecting on intentions. Asking, are my actions coming from love and kindness for myself too, or are they rooted in fear or anxiety? Because fear, it always seems to create that inner tightness, that unease.
Absolutely. Actions driven by love tend to generate harmony, inside and out. Fear, on the other hand, often breeds conflict, disquiet. It's worth checking in sometimes. What's motivating my choices? Are they leading towards more peace or more agitation?
And embracing impermanence, that's a big one in Buddhism, isn't it? Trusting that things change, the ebb and flow, knowing that joy and sorrow are temporary, somehow that can be really comforting.
Understanding impermanence invites us to loosen our grip, on fixed ideas, fixed outcomes. Accepting change, knowing everything is in flux, is a powerful source of inner peace. It frees us from fighting reality.
Letting go of the struggle.
Exactly. And finally, there's seeking balance the middle way, avoiding extremes, finding moderation. That just feels like a recipe for inner stability, doesn't it?
It does. Where could a bit more balance bring more ease in our own lives? It's a good question to ask.
The middle way guides us away from, the pitfalls of too much indulgence and harsh self-denial. It's about finding a sustainable, harmonious rhythm. And when we nurture this inner peace, it's like tuning an instrument. We become more receptive, more sensitive to the subtle harmonies around us, which actually brings us quite naturally to a second sign or glow, synchronicity.
Ah, synchronicity, yes. Those moments that just make you pause and go, wait, how did that happen? Meaningful coincidences, as they're often called. Have you experienced that? Something that felt just too meaningful to be random.
Oh, definitely. It's when an inner thought or a feeling seems to suddenly show up in the outside world in a way that feels surprisingly relevant. This
Yeah.
idea of interconnectedness, where our inner and outer worlds kind of mirror each other. It's fascinating.
And it connects beautifully to that Buddhist idea of interdependence, doesn't it? Everything is linked, influencing everything else.
Exactly.
So these synchronicities, maybe they aren't just random static. Maybe they're like little nods from the universe, hints that we're moving in a meaningful direction. What kind of nods should people maybe look out for?
Think of it like the universe speaking in symbols and patterns. That story about Alex and the number 11 is a great example.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That number just kept popping up when he was thinking about a career change, right? And it eventually nudged him towards writing and teaching, his passion. Those weren't just random sightings, they felt like guidance. Have you ever noticed a recurring symbol or maybe a phrase during a time of big personal reflection?
Could be numbers, symbols, like you said, or maybe a song lyric you keep hearing, or running into someone who says exactly what you needed to hear. It's those uncanny connections. They just feel like more than chance.
What makes us more likely to even spot these things, though?
Well, the key often seems to be our level of presence. If our minds are just cluttered and racing, we can easily miss these subtle signals. Cultivating mindfulness, being really present in the moment, just sharpens our awareness.
Right, being awake to what's actually happening.
What practices help you cultivate that kind of presence?
For me, sometimes it's just taking a few conscious breaths. But thinking practically, how can we get better at noticing these synchronicities? Keeping a journal was one idea mentioned. Noting down odd coincidences. That makes sense, right? Helps you spot patterns. Absolutely. It trains the mind to recognize these connections. When you write them down, you give them a bit more weight and you become more tuned in to noticing similar things later. It's like adjusting an antenna to pick up a specific frequency.
Tuning the antenna, I like that. And cultivating gratitude was another point. Focusing on the positive stuff. I imagine that shifts your whole perspective, makes you more open to seeing other good alignments.
Gratitude definitely creates a receptive state. When we appreciate what we have, we naturally become more open to seeing other positive experiences, other connections. It's like polishing a mirror. You see more clearly.
Polishing the mirror and trusting your intuition, that gut feeling. It often seems to know the way, even when logic doesn't. How do you learn to trust that, though? To tell it apart from just noise?
Intuition is often like a subtle wisdom, isn't it? Processing things beyond our conscious mind. Learning to trust those inner nudges can guide us towards things we might otherwise miss. It really requires cultivating a quiet inner listening.
Quiet listening. And staying open to change, too, not being so rigid in our plans that we miss a really significant detour. Has being willing to embrace the unexpected helped you?
Oh, for sure. Rigidity can blind us. Synchronicity often pops up in unexpected ways, so being willing to adapt, to embrace a bit of uncertainty is pretty crucial. These synchronicities, they can feel like messages, coded in the language of the universe. And as we keep going, we might notice another sign showing up. Maybe a shift in the quality of our relationships.
Ah, yes, Kalyamitata. Noble friendships, supportive connections. That's such a beautiful concept.
There really is.
It's about those relationships that genuinely uplift you, inspire your growth, offer real support. Can you think of someone in your life who really embodies that for you?
These are the connections that truly nourish our spirit, encourage us to evolve. Think back. Maybe at a time when someone's support made a huge difference during a tough transition. What was it about them or their support that was so helpful?
The story of Priya, the entrepreneur, really illustrated this. How she was struggling until she met that business coach who just seemed to have exactly the right guidance and connections.
Yeah.
It felt almost orchestrated by the universe. Have you ever had connections to that? Perfectly timed.
Life often seems to work that way, doesn't it? When we're moving in a direction that feels aligned, the right people often just appear right when we need them. And that Buddhist idea of karma comes into the sense that radiating positivity, being authentic, tends to attract supportive energies back to us. It's like a reciprocal flow.
Like attracts, on a deeper level. And it makes sense that as you grow and change, your circle of friends might shift too. You naturally move towards people who resonate with where you are now. Have you seen that happen in your own life?
Growth often does involve shedding old layers, doesn't it? And sometimes that includes relationships that maybe don't serve our highest good anymore. It's not about judging them. It's just recognizing where we find genuine nourishment and encouragement now. Where do you feel most uplifted in your current relationships?
That's a good reflection. So how do we actually nurture these Kalyamitada relationships? Being mindful about who we spend time with seems key. Choosing people who inspire us. How do you consciously cultivate those connections?
Choosing companions consciously really is an act of self-care, I think. Surrounding ourselves with positive, supportive people creates fertile ground for growth. It's about being intentional with the energy we invite into our lives.
And giving generously. Offering help without expecting something back. That feels like it would deepen any connection.
Oh, absolutely. Acts of kindness, generosity, they create such a positive current in relationships. They build trust, understanding. Often it's in the giving that we feel the deepest connection, paradoxically.
Communicating authentically too. Speaking your truth, kindly, but also really listening deeply. Honesty, genuine engagement. They seem vital.
Authentic communication really builds bridges, doesn't it? It allows for real understanding, mutual respect. It does require vulnerability, though, being willing to be truly seen and heard.
Yeah, that takes courage. And celebrating others' successes. With real joy, not envy. That fosters connection too, like you're on the same team. How do you cultivate that genuine appreciation for others?
Celebrating others' wins cultivates a feeling of shared abundance, I find. It strengthens those bonds. It shifts focus away from scarcity towards recognizing there's enough joy, enough success to go around.
Shared abundance.
These supportive relationships, they really can feel like gifts along the way. And as we continue to align, something else might start strengthening, this time from within, a growing confidence in our own abilities.
Ah, yes. That developing trust in your own capacity. This connects to the Buddhist idea of saddha, right? A kind of deep faith. But it's not arrogance.
Not at all.
It's more like a quiet, steady belief in what you're capable of. How does that feel different from just, outward confidence?
It's an inner knowing, I'd say. A quiet conviction in our potential, even when there's no external applause or validation. It's like the roots of a tree unseen, but firmly anchoring it. What experiences have helped you cultivate that deeper self-trust?
That story about Daniel, the software engineer, how he overcame his fear, built that startup through consistent effort and his mindfulness practice. It really showed that. His confidence seemed to grow from the inside out, not just from the winds. What role do inner practices play in that kind of resilience?
His journey really highlights how crucial inner resilience is. Practices like mindfulness can help us see and gently dismantle those limiting beliefs that often chip away at our confidence. It's about building a quiet inner strength that doesn't depend on external stuff.
And it's that internal belief that really gets you through the tough times, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So how can we cultivate this quiet confidence?
Well, one gentle way is to start small, build momentum. Each little act of courage, each challenge faced, it reinforces our belief in our capacity. What small step could you take today, maybe, to build that inner momentum?
Yeah, even tiny wins add up. Practicing self-compassion is another big one. Treating yourself kindly, especially when you mess up, like you would a good friend. How does being kind to yourself actually build confidence?
Self-compassion lets us learn from mistakes without getting bogged down in self-criticism. It builds resilience, encourages us to keep going. It's about recognizing our shared humanity, our inherent worthiness, even when we fall short.
Okay. And visualizing success. Gently imagining positive outcomes. Like planting seeds of possibility in your mind. Has that helped you?
Visualization can be quite potent, yes, for shaping beliefs, behaviors, making desired outcomes feel more reachable. It's like creating a mental blueprint for what you want to create.
A mental blueprint. And seeking guidance, but without becoming totally dependent. Learning from others, but still trusting your own inner compass. That feels like a tricky balance.
It is a balance, being open to learning, receiving support, while still honoring your own inner wisdom, your unique path. It's a dance, really, between seeking help and trusting yourself.
A dance. And embracing challenges. Seeing them not as failures, but as opportunities to learn and grow. Reframing setbacks. How has that perspective helped you with difficulties?
Challenges often act as powerful catalysts for growth. don't they? They deepen our understanding of ourselves, our capabilities, they build resilience, strengthen that inner confidence, and this growing confidence, interestingly, can also start to subtly shift our outer world, drawing new possibilities towards us. Which brings us nicely to the fifth and final reflection, the appearance of unexpected opportunity.
Right. Those moments that feel like pure serendipity, doors opening you didn't even know were there. And this connects back to karma, doesn't it? The idea that positive actions and intentions can lead to these fortunate openings.
Right.
Have you had opportunities appear out of the blue like that?
It can feel that way, can't it? As though the universe kind of meets us halfway, offering possibilities that align with our efforts and intentions. That story about Elena, the graphic designer who won that big contest unexpectedly.
Yeah.
It's a lovely example. It wasn't just luck, though, was it? It was her dedication, her skill, meeting that opportune moment. What makes us more or less receptive to these openings, do you think?
It really underlines how important it is to be ready, doesn't it? Ready to actually seize those moments. It's not just the opportunity showing up. You need to have done the work, cultivated the readiness to actually walk through that door. What kind of readiness matters most?
Readiness is, well, it's multifaceted, I think. It involves having the skills, the knowledge, yes, but also maintaining an open, receptive mindset and trusting yourself to navigate something new. These moments of divine timing often require us to be both grounded and flexible.
Grounded and flexible. So how can we be more receptive? One suggestion was just staying open, willing to adapt, adjust your plans if needed. How do you practice that kind of openness day to day?
Flexibility really is key. Sometimes the best opportunities look different from what we expected, or they require us to deviate from our neat little plans. It's about loosening our grip on how things should be.
Loosening the grip and continuously honing your skills. Being a lifelong learner. Investing in your growth means you're better prepared when something does come along. What areas are you drawn to cultivating right now?
Continuous growth definitely equips us for new challenges, new possibilities. It's about nurturing our potential, always expanding our horizons a bit.
And cultivating genuine connections, networking authentically, not just transactionally. You really never know where a real connection might lead. Have relationships open unexpected doors for you.
Authentic relationships can create this amazing web of support and connection. And yes, that can absolutely lead to unforeseen opportunities. Genuine connection builds trust, creates fertile ground for collaboration, for mutual growth.
Acting decisively when an opportunity does arise. Not getting stuck in endless hesitation or analysis. How do you find the courage to just step forward when a new path opens up?
Prompt action is often needed for those fleeting chances, isn't it? Trusting your gut, being willing to take a calculated risk. That can be crucial. It's about honoring the momentum when it appears.
Honoring the momentum. And finally, trusting the timing. Having faith that things unfold as they should. That can be hard when you're eager for something. How do you cultivate that patient trust?
Patience and trust are so essential. Sometimes opportunities show up later than we'd like, but often they arrive exactly when we're truly ready for them. It's about aligning our inner rhythm with that larger flow of life. These unexpected opportunities, when they come, they can feel like gentle affirmations, can't they? Confirmations that we are indeed moving in a meaningful direction.
So these 5 reflections, inner peace, synchronicity, those supportive relationships, that growing confidence, and these unexpected opportunities, they offer a kind of framework, maybe, a lens to look at your own journey through, a way to gently check in on that feeling of alignment.
Exactly. They're like subtle landmarks, perhaps, offering reassurance, maybe a bit of guidance. It's really about cultivating that inner awareness, paying attention to how these things might be showing up in your own unfolding life.
And it's not just passive observation, is it? It's about integrating these insights with conscious action. Actively participating in your life while also somehow trusting the process.
Precisely. It's that dance again, isn't it? Between effort and surrender. We cultivate the inner conditions, we take the inspired action, but we also trust in the wisdom of the unfolding.
We talked about the image of the lotus flower earlier, rising from the mud. Such a powerful symbol of resilience, of flourishing, even amidst challenges.
The lotus reminds us, doesn't it, that even in difficulty, there's this inherent capacity for growth, for beauty. It's a potent symbol of our own potential to transform.
So maybe as you move through your day today, you could take just a quiet moment. Reflect on these gentle signs, perhaps. Trust the rhythm of your own unique path. And know that the journey itself is a profound teacher. Thank you for sharing this exploration today.